Stand by to launch FanStream Sports.
3, 2, 1. Let's start.
Hello, sports fans. Welcome to FanStream Sports. Nothing but pure sports. This is the JP Show.
JP, it is so good to hear you back on the air.
Stand by. Now, here's JP.
All right, a hearty good morning and welcome to a Hump Day edition of the JP Peterson Show. Hump Day, welcome in. We got a fun show for you today. No guests on the horizon, but you never know what can happen. But Timmy and I have a bunch of juicy topics that we want to jump into this morning. We got baseball, we got football, we got hockey. Who won the Isaac Howard trade? Was it the Oilers? Or was it the Lightning?
We have one vote for the Oilers already.
Yeah, we do. It's shocking. And who did that come from?
Bucs raise bolts.
Mr. Negative, Buck Spaceman. He now has a new nickname, Mr. Negative. We love you, Buck Spaceman. Every great show needs a villain. Every great show needs a villain.
We already have one. We have B. We don't need more.
We have villains. B. Yeah. He's definitely there. But yeah, we have comic relief with Rick and so many others. So yeah, we got a great cast of characters on the show, no doubt. Good morning to you, Tim Ham, from our Dallas affiliate, FanStream Sports DFW. What's up?
Good morning. It is 9:03 Central Time as I stare into my backyard here at my home studio, and JP, it is already 99 degrees. At 9:03,
I took the lovely.
We're approaching
I took
July
Callie on
and
a
August.
walk this morning on. Yeah, I know. It's hot out there. It's hot in Texas. We went for a little walk on Bayshore this morning. And it was nice. It was beautiful. A little 80s, a little breeze coming off the water.
Oh wow!
Yeah, it's nice to be able to just walk down to Bayshore and take your little doggy on a walk in the morning. That's a great pleasure in life right there. So
the best
anywhere here in the Tampa Bay area. All the water that we have, you just get up in the morning and just go for a walk by the water. If you don't know what I'm doing here, I'm rubbing it in. This is called rubbing it in to Tim, and you can see his wry smile on his face as he sits there about 18 miles from any major water, in about 2,000 miles from the beach.
Way more than that. Yeah, I'm 900 miles probably from the Gulf Coast, and I mean I got Lake Lewisville right around the corner, but it's got more dead bodies than it does alligator gar in it. Oh yeah, it is known as the dead body capital of North Texas, where everybody dumps their dead bodies, is in Lake Lewisville.
Wait, what?
Oh yeah,
I've never heard of this.
It's a well-known local fact.
Where all the cartels dump the
cartels
trash?
And just regular like.
Is that the train station? Is that the train station for North Texas?
It's just our most popular North Texas lake, and it's big, it's huge, and it's deep, and bodies go there to decompose. And if you want to get rid of a body, you dump it in Lake Lewisville. And the joke is
with a concrete block attached
when we're
to it?
Yeah. And when the joke is when we're, out on the boat on the lake, and a lot of people won't even go in the water because of this. But if you're brave enough to go in the water and you're swimming around, you're going to get touched by something, a fish, a snake. No, I swear. Swear to God, you are going to get something touching your leg, a snake or a fish or whatever. And a lot of people just freak out because the dead body just touched my leg. I'm getting out. I'm out. It's like a running thing here in the Dallas area. It's great.
I had no idea.
Yeah, it's good. I don't care. Like the lake's not the cleanest lake ever, obviously, because there's decomposing bodies in it. But I still go swimming in it. I'll go, skiing and stuff on it. But whatever.
We grew up skiing on lakes, Intercoastal Waterway in South Florida. And and you from time to time you'd have a fish come by and touch your leg. Yeah. It's just you never really thought about it. You're just swimming in a lake. It's no big deal. Now it's like dead bodies, and there weren't alligators in the Intercoastal. You don't find alligators for the most part. So we never really had to worry. Although back in the day, we did ski the Wakulla River. I did ski the Wakulla River a few times, which is in the Panhandle. Yeah. And as you ski along, there are gators all over the banks.
Oh, wow. That would be crazy to me.
But just like, it's just what we did.
Right.
Like nobody really, because the gators are scared of the boats. Right. They don't like the sound of the boats. They're not going to go near the boats. but I ain't gonna lie, it definitely makes you want to stay on your skis. And when you get into the when you're done, it's like, the joke is the guy just takes off in the boat and it goes around the corner and it's like just leaves you there.
Yeah,
it's not a good feeling. It's not a good feeling. You just sit there. There's nobody around. There's a bunch of gators on the banks. I mean, they're where we skied. It was probably it was pretty wide, so they're a good ways away from you. But they could also be right underneath you. You don't know. But it's just generally people do it, and there's never been a real. I don't even know if there's ever been a gator attack on the Wakulla River.
No, when I was born in southern Louisiana, there's gators everywhere, and you stay away from each other. It's not a big deal. But I have to address swimming and skiing and boating on Lake Louisville the way I approach like flying in an airplane and eating a hot dog. All right, I love eating hot dogs. Mm-hmm. I don't want to think about what's in it. Right, I just love a hot dog. I don't want to think about that. If you like hot dogs, do not do any research on hot dogs. No, you will never eat one again.
Nope.
And then it's the same thing for flying in an airplane for me. Like, as I've become older, it freaks me out to fly. So I can't think about all the bad stuff that can happen in an airplane while you're flying. I just don't think about it. I just do it. And it's weird because I used to have my pilot's license. I used to fly little tiny small aircraft, lawnmowers with wings. I used to fly those. And I was never scared of it at all. And I was never scared to fly. But now, for some reason, I freaking hate to fly, and Johnny makes me fly everywhere I go, and I hate it. But I just don't think about it. So when I go on Lake Louisville, I just don't think about what's in the water. I just go and have a good time. That's what you got to do. Yeah. And the closest thing I can experience to what you did this morning, JP, is you're walking your dog on the water with a cool breeze, is I got to turn on my sprinkler system in my backyard and take my dog into the backyard, and that's what we do. The best I can do.
A poor man's Bay Shore. We need a picture of you and then a picture of me like side by side.
Oh, that would be great.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. Anyway, let's get down to the business of sports here this morning. I hate to even lead with the Rays because this is getting really repetitive. Guess what happened with the Rays last night? They blew the game in the bullpen again, although the offense has sucked the last two nights as well. Suddenly we see, and this is what I've been talking about, even during the run. It's great when everybody's healthy and everybody's popping. It's all good. But you get one guy to go down, Brandon Lau, and it all goes to shiz. And this is it. It just happens that way. It's a versatile lineup and it's a talented lineup, but it's also a very thin lineup, which is the reason they need a big bopper right in the middle, and they should get one at the trade deadline. Intern Danny sent me something, and I was like, "Is this really true?" Ronald Acuna coming to the to the Rays. Like, is this something that could even happen? I don't know.
Is this like a trade rumor? What is this? A trade rumor?
Yes, this is a trade rumor. Yes, it is. Yeah. But there's a lot going back. I don't know if it's something that's even feasible to be done. And this is an ESPN article that came out. But God, can you imagine Acuna in the middle of that lineup? They're doing like these, like Paul Skeens. Is he really going to be traded? Maybe. I mean, you don't want to be sitting there if you're the Pirates with your D in your hand, get nothing for him. It's a little ways down the road, but at some point, if you get an offer and you're a small market team like the Pirates, this is how Stu Sternberg developed his bazillions of dollars, and you draft these great players, you trade for these great young players, they develop, and then you turn them into something. And you go out and you trade and you get all these prospects back, all these young, good players who can keep you in the hunt, and you can just keep recycling this. But you never keep your stars, and the stars are what win world championships mostly, right? You never get to that point where you've got, 4 or 5 guys that are on long-term contracts that are experienced upper echelon players. And, there's pros and cons to it, but the number one thing that you can definitely that you can take away from this as a strategy, you're going to make a shit ton of money as an owner. And that's why they do it. It's like, well, Acuna will never be traded. Well, that the Braves ownership is not in that boat, though. They're not in the boat, to count every dollar and make it. They want to win because they're making tons of money. with that stadium and that real estate development that they did, they're making tons of money, and they can keep their team competitive with a $180, $200 million payroll and still make money. Now they can make more going the other way, but there's no, we need to stay competitive. In some years, it's not going to happen. So this is what they wrote about Acuna. Offer number 3. The Rays offer shortstop Carson Williams, number 27 prospect. At this point, I'm like, yeah, take him. Shane Baz, outfielder Theo Gillen, right-hand pitcher Yoniel Currit, and right-hand pitcher Brody Hopkins. And I don't know. Those are obviously good prospects, but Carson Williams and Shane Baz for Ronald Acuna, oh, yes, please. And 3, I'm guessing they're pretty good prospects. The Mariners will also be after him, and they could offer shortstop Colt Emerson, Bryce Miller, catcher Harry Ford. So there's a few teams that'll
he's
be
like a top 10 prospect, isn't he? Emerson?
Yeah, number 10.
Okay.
They say why the Rays will probably keep him. Acuna has been one of the best hitters in majors since returning in late May from his second ACL surgery and has been the best hitter on a Braves team that is near the bottom of the National League in runs scored. He is signed through 28 on an incredibly team-friendly deal that pays him just $17 million per season. So you'd have him, oh my God, for the end of this season and through 28 at 17 mil. I mean, even the Rays can handle that. At just 27 years old, he remains in the middle of his prime and is one of the best sports' most dynamic talents. But Acuna's knees are a long-term concern. Atlanta lacks depth in both the lineup and pitching staff, and this looks like a lost season. I would make that trade in a heartbeat. Shane Baz and Carson Williams? Yeah, absolutely. 100%.
I had the pleasure of watching his brother play here in Frisco for a while. Luis Angel Acuna played for the Frisco Rough Riders right down here for a couple of years.
Yeah, he's a player too, right?
Yeah, he's in the big leagues now. I forget who he plays for now. But he was great. Like you could tell this dude's in Acuna. Like you could already tell. Yeah. And I don't remember what the situation was, with the Rangers dealing him, but he was great.
Yeah, I mean, this is exactly the type of player that you would like. He's an outfielder, that's good. And he's a right-handed hitter, that's good. And he's got, he's a bopper. He's a bopper since, let me see. Look at some of these numbers. Golly, 41 homers in 2019, 41 homers in 2023. But there's been a lot of meh lately, because of the injuries. That's tough. But
and especially for the Rays, right? To look at acquiring a guy with an injury history like that. Because you have a lot of other guys on your roster already with injury histories, and you'd like to get away from that. But I get it. He would be very enticing if they could get him from the Braves for basically Shane and Carson, right?
Yeah.
I mean, that's basically what you're giving up with the 3 other guys. But wow. Yeah. I guess injury history or not.
And, postulating deals, just looking at, a couple deals. David Schoenfeld looking at some of the big acquisitions that could happen. But, a right-handed hitting outfielder is exactly what the Rays are looking for. And if they could do that deal, I might take a chance. These are ACL injuries. They're ACLs get repaired, and typically you're good to go.
Right.
It's not like that's just he plays a very athletic game, and those things are going to happen. What are the chances that he gets another one? Probably slim. And at 27 years old, to have a guy in his prime, I mean, if he's healthy the next 3 years, what do you project him doing? A lot.
Yeah, and he just came back in May, right, from the ACL. Yeah. So you would think if you were going to have continuing issues with that, or if something was gone wrong with the surgery, you would have already seen that now in the last 2 months, or a month and a half since he's been back. Yeah. So, I mean, look at Odell Beckham Jr. and the ACL history he had with that botched surgery when he was in Cleveland.
Yeah.
And he'll probably never play again. But if Acuna was going to have issues with that ACL, I think we would have seen that here in the last month and a half.
So just something to think about. And, as people have been asking me online, what's going on with the sale, what's going on? It's status quo from what we reported a couple weeks ago when the LOI came out. They still are in exclusive negotiations that may be extended. It may come to an end this week. Don't know. But my sense is that this new group is, they've met with Jane Castor. They have not met with Ken Welch, and they are not interested in building in St. Pete. And I've told you that for a long, long time. And it's interesting. In the Times today, Colleen Wright has a piece about how the city of St. Pete is going to officially cancel the deal with Hines, the redevelopment deal, and move forward with development on the Trop site, which is interesting because they're supposed to be repairing the Trop,
right,
for baseball for the next 3 years, which I believe there was a fence put up and there's some repair work being done.
Really? Okay.
And Ken Welch, at least to this point, according to the Times, has not met with Zalupski, who's the new point person for ownership. So that's interesting as well. So as I've told you many times, the St. Pete option is not an option, not for Major League Baseball. And even at this point, you can see St. Pete is moving on. What's interesting is if they repair the Trop, now there is parking on the other side of the Trop, of the big paved parking lot where the convention center would go. And they're talking about doing a convention center, which I think would be tremendous for St. Pete. If they did a convention center in conjunction with kind of a city park, and they can also sell it off to developers for residential and commercial, all types of development there too, which would be wildly successful.
Maybe
and of course,
maybe some low income housing.
No.
Oh, okay. All right.
No. But definitely something there for the gas plant residents and making them whole, as Ken Welch just talked about. But affordable housing is not the way to go there, in my opinion. If you sell off those parcels to development where they can build, you're making, they're being appraised at 14 to 20 million per acre. Do you know how much affordable housing you could build in other parts of Pinellas County with taking that kind of profit instead of building on a $14 million plot, affordable housing? That just makes no sense whatsoever, except scoring political points.
Yeah.
When we could have tens of millions of dollars more to build multiple units in a bigger space that serves way more people. Well, wait a minute. That sounds like a much better idea. Yeah, it does. So I don't need to run St. Pete for them, but I can tell you this, it's not going to be a baseball stadium. And that's not what they need anyway. So I think it's interesting that vote is supposed to come on July 24th. But as far as we know, they voted to continue to repair the Trop. They're planning on playing in the Trop. I don't think it's going to be ready for the beginning of next season. There may not be a beginning of next season, by the way. I think Major League Baseball is probably pretty certain about that.
Yeah.
Because of the labor issues that are becoming very, very big there's a lot to get through for players. I think and the biggest sticking issue that we've talked about, and they've kicked this down the can for probably 2 decades, is a salary floor and a salary cap. And, I don't see why the Major League Baseball Players Association cannot see the long-term benefits of this. Because I think, listen, mostly in these labor issues, I side with the players against the owners, because the owners are mostly a bunch of greedy bastards. So, but the players, I think, have to really kind of realize that for the long-term growth of this game, you can't have 6 franchises. You can't have 5 or 6 franchises that are outspending everybody by quadruple and the rest of the league just not interested, because you got to pool the money for everybody to make money. You've got to have 32 interested markets that are, ready to go when you get to expansion. You got to have, listen, who wants to have an expansion team and pay $2 billion for an expansion team and then say, well, I got to spend another $400 million a year to keep up with the Dodgers and the Mets? Yeah, no, thank you.
It's not a great business model.
It's not a good business model. Now you could And with a floor and a cap, you can actually probably exact more money out of the owners in total and spread the money out to more players and have more stars individually put out to more teams. And it's not all in New York and all in Los Angeles. That's a failed business model. It's a very failed business model. For the long-term growth, you got to have, each market has to have stars. You got to be able to do that. And we're heading in the very much in the wrong direction. I don't blame the Dodgers and Mets and these big money teams for spending all this money and taking all the best players. Why not? You're making the money. You got the money to spend. Hell, even the Rays have money to spend. That's how much money's in baseball. It's a $13 to $15 billion total industry. It's a lot of money because they play so many freaking games. There's a lot of money to be had. But with viewership coming down, attendance coming down, they need a radical redirection in how they do business if these other franchises are going to stay viable. And why does this affect the Rays? Well, first of all, can we please have a freaking floor? You know, and now that, you know, we have new ownership coming in, hopefully soon, that shouldn't be a problem. But that said, you want to be competitive. Don't you want, imagine what the Rays would do if they were on a level playing field with the New York Yankees and the rest of baseball with their brain trust. Holy hell. Be winning championships right and left. And that's what you need in baseball. You need a level playing field, or a much more level playing field than you have now. You just can't have this disparity in spending because, you know, these teams at the bottom, these owners are just like, what's the point? We're just going to do Stu Sternberg. Go make $150 million, $200 million a year. We'll pocket the money and we'll throw a team out there. And what does it matter? We'll get our revenue sharing money. We'll, you know, we don't have to market the team because we're getting revenue sharing money. We'll still make money. I don't care if we win. It's just a cash cow. And that's what you're seeing across the league now. The teams are doing.
Yeah.
They're Stu Sternberg. And baseball shouldn't want that. They should not want that.
No, and that's not the kind of owners baseball used to have. Baseball owners used to have baseball people, right, who loved baseball, and that was why they bought the team or why they owned the team.
It was a hobby.
And win a championship. Yeah. Now you just have generic businessmen who have other business interests literally around the world that just see it as like you said, a cash cow, as a way to make a couple $1 billion in the next 5 years, and we're going to go do that. And you know what? To hell with the product on the field, because there's a fan base. There's an established fan base. So people will watch. People will come to the games. Baseball will give me a bunch of money, and all I got to do is own the team. And then I can sell it in 10 years and make a couple of $1 billion. They're not baseball people, and that's what's wrong.
Yeah. Yeah, it's and how it affects the Rays is, let's get on a level playing field. And you know, I just don't see the players. They don't care. It's like, nope. We don't care about the long term. We just want money. We don't want any caps. We just want crazy owners signing Soto to $750 million deals. You know, Ohtani gets $800 million, defer, whatever. That's all they care about is his top end. And it's like, that's so short-sighted. The game, you know, there's way too much competition for the entertainment dollar, and dispensable income's going down. So if you want anybody to show up at your games, and attendance across the league is not good, you're going to have to decrease ticket prices, and that's less revenue. But you got to make the teams more relevant. I mean, at what point how many teams are really relevant right now? You know, and I would throw the Rays in that category, because at 6-7 games over 500, sure, you can make the playoffs. You've done nothing in the playoffs for 5 years because of this roster. It's just, yeah, sure, you can win a wild card, but you can't score a run in the postseason. It's like big BFD. And it's hard to compete against some of these teams that actually spend money. And soon, at some point, the fan base is just going to go, whatever. That's why you have to have stadiums that people want to go to, not just to go see the team. Like, it has to be a social event. It has to be a show, like what the Lightning do. You know, we put on a show. It's not just a game every game. It's a show. From the moment you walk into that building, we are entertaining you, trying to do something to keep things going. We're not trying to cut corners and not put in lasers and not put in this and not do this and not, no, we're trying to, the focus is on entertaining the fans from the moment they walk in the building. Now, I love Steinbrenner Field, but that's not the vibe I get. And it never been at a Rays game.
Yeah.
It's just like, do the bare minimum and, we'll play baseball. And if we win, all of you people should show up, even though you got to drive hours and hours and come to a Walmart to watch the game. No, it doesn't work. You got to have aspirational buildings that attract people in areas. Because if I want my wife to go, she ain't coming to watch a baseball game. We went to the Magic game, and you know what she loved? All the entertainment in between, all the shows and the dancing and the mascot and the DJ and all that stuff. It was like, yeah, this is a really fun vibe. And if you want, if you want me to pay for 2 tickets, this is what you got to give people. That's why I've seen, people, the Trump's good enough. Well, that's not. No, it's not. It's not good enough. Well, they win and nobody shows up. Well, sorry, Mr. 1985. It doesn't work that way anymore. You got to have entertainment. You got to have something more than just a baseball game. Because I got news for you. To 90% of the people, baseball is freaking boring. That's why they're not even ashamed to say it. All these groups I've talked to, they just say, well, it's not the baseball. It's the real estate deal. We're going to build something around it. I just need an anchor to bring, 25, 30,000 people to a site, 81 times a year on average, and I can make a crap ton of money. People will want to live there. It's been proven out at every, from Denver to Houston to Washington to, there's so many of these places where the area around in Atlanta, of course, it's just exploded. Texas, it's everywhere. It's a no-brainer, and nowhere. Are the real estate markets hot or still hot than Tampa? I just saw a list yesterday that we're the second most expensive city to live in, which I don't know where the hell that came from, but it's true. We used to be way down the list, but people wanted to move to the free state of Florida during COVID. Now they're all here, and none of them wanted to go to Miami. Can't blame them. You want to go to a major city? This is where they came. No, not a surprise. So anyway, long story short. All of this, what we're talking about is to make the Rays more viable and to make Tampa Bay a better place to live. And that means a stadium in Tampa with a Major League Baseball team here that's thriving, hopefully. We got a spirited conversation going on in the comments. Are you watching this?
I'm not watching that.
Yeah. Thomas Casper is lighting the fire under many people here.
No.
Yeah, we're going to get to the Isaac Howard trade here in our next segment, by the way. Daniel Rivera says, I was at Seminole Hard Rock yesterday. I can tell you a picture 81 home games at the fairgrounds and that casino being jumping pre and post game. Yeah, that's great, but I'm not here to run a casino. The casino is always busy. That's the busiest casino in America, I've been told.
Really?
Yeah, by learned people. That's
I believe you.
I don't think it's the biggest take, but it's like the busiest.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah, and they can't put enough people in there. Absolutely cannot put enough people in there. Michael or Thomas Casper says affordable housing was not affordable. It's market rate. Unfortunately, to get public money, you have to build a few residential units. Yeah, that's true, and that's all political. And that affordable housing was, the developer could get out of building in a quote affordable unit by paying a $25,000 fine. So wait a minute. I could build a unit that I have to sell for $300,000, but I could pay $25,000 and make it available for $1.5 million. What do you think about that? Okay, I'll pay the fine.
It's worth it.
Yeah, B says Mayor Welch trying to meet with Patrick Z per Colleen Wright article. Weird article, actually. Yeah, they've had a couple of really weird articles. The back-to-back articles in the Times have been like, okay, this is really old news, but, with a couple new things sprinkled in, but where are we going with this? Yeah, today's article is another one. Okay, so they're going to officially terminate a deal that we knew that was already officially terminated. So I'm trying to read between the lines, and to me, it basically said, okay, we're taking away the big parking lot. You can park on the other side, fans, which is like a shot to the Rays going, yeah, we'll work with you. But as we said, they're not friends. If we're repairing the Trop, They're going to do the very bare minimum, which is going to be great for the fans. Like, yeah, you can live with the mold smell. Don't worry. Come on in.
Just bring your mask.
Yeah. Bring a mask. Put some perfume on it. You'll be fine. Yeah. It's how this whole thing is going to work out with, I mean, the city who doesn't want the Rays to be there now, if it's, still the old ownership. Now, new ownership brings a whole lot of new things, but it's not going to bring us baseball stadium in St. Pete. That's not going to happen. That's why I think the only thing I got out of this article is they're moving ahead with building whatever they're going to build, convention center or whatever, on the parking lot side, which is like, kind of another shot to the Rays. But with new owner, which is why I'm still not completely convinced that they're going to play there. Daniel Rivera says Thomas Casper, not to mention the pedestrian overpass over I-4 connecting the fairground site with the casino. Look, I've always said the fairground site is I think very doable. Mayor Castard said something the other day about it's not in the city limits, so we wouldn't, I guess basically saying that we wouldn't be part of that. We couldn't give city money, and that's important, I think, if the city's going to be a player. Because the last deal, city was not a player in terms of money in Ybor City, and that's in the city limits. But the city wasn't shipping in any money, as far as I know. And there was money to be had from the city. I was told by a councilman that there could have been a way to get my city money, but it wasn't included in the deal, which was weird. Thomas says if St. Pete wants to be on the chessboard, they will need to offer the airport for redevelopment. Yeah, that airport seems like a very valuable site that doesn't really do much. All right, we'll get to this a little bit later on. Let's go ahead and take a break. We'll come back and we'll talk about the Isaac Howard trade. Who won the trade, Timmy? Who won the trade? We probably
not who everyone's saying it is.
We'll find out. Sam O'Reilly or Isaac Howard? Peanut O'Reilly.
Peanut O'Reilly.
We are brought to you by the Jeeves Law Group, JEEVES lawgroup.com. They are local, they are trusted, and they get results. Scott Jeeves is a wonderful lawyer and a great dude. Has an office in St. Pete and in Tampa, so knows the legal landscape here locally in both counties. That's very, very important if you're involved in an accident or you have a legal issue. And they will give you a free case evaluation. Just go to the JeevesLawGroup.com, email them or call them and tell them JP sent you. And OnSiteConstructionFL.com. We'll see Jason Fawcett in studio in a couple of weeks. And we'll ask him all types of questions about hurricane season coming up. Here's what you need to know. Get on the preferred client list at OnSiteConstructionFL.com. Meet with your contractor. That would be Jason. He'll come out free of charge, look at your home, tell you some of the options that you could do to restore it or to add on to it. Or if you want to build from scratch, knock it down, they can tell you the options for that as well. They do tremendous work. Check out the website, OnSiteConstructionFL.com. Back at 3. Although it may seem tempting to go without health care insurance, the financial risk far outweighs the gain you may experience. For example, did you know if you simply broke your leg, it could cost you nearly $7,500? Put on top of that a hospital stay, you could be looking at $10,000 to $15,000. Ensuring that you don't go uncovered is so important, as according to CNBC, high medical bills are the highest contributing factor to why Americans end up taking money out of their retirement savings or worse, find themselves filing bankruptcy. So go to don'tgouncovered.com or call 800-669-1505. Now, depending on your income, you can get plans for zero premium. Our experts will guide you through the process effortlessly. They will shop many plans and find the one that's right for you. I called and I have full health coverage through Florida Blue for zero monthly premium. It's a free call. So why go uncovered? It's a huge risk. Go to don'tgouncovered.com or call 800-669-1505. That's 800-669-1505. Spring means a time of renewal and Rays baseball, and the folks at Italiano Insurance want to welcome the Rays to Tampa and remind you it's time to renew those insurance policies with the now famous Italiano Insurance Checkup. Let the experienced and friendly agents shop your policy for the best price and coverage. Famous for saving me over $1,000 on our auto insurance last year and over $500 on our homeowners. Now that's a grand slam. Might as well get a double play by adding flood insurance and business insurance to your portfolio. Costs less than you think, and trust me, you do not want to risk your home or personal wealth. that's a big whiff. So step up to the plate and call 813-877-7799 and chat with the all-star agents at Italiano Insurance. 813-877-7799 or go to italianoinsurance.com. Go Rays! JP here for Riveters, our new official sports bar and grill of the JP Peterson Show. And just like our show, no BS, no corporate chain feel, just amazing, authentic folks serving great comfort food in a casual atmosphere at unheard of prices. Riveters is located just south of Raymond James and Steinbrenner Field on Dale Mabry, walking distance to the park, so free parking, great place for pregame and postgame. Let's talk about fresh food. Nothing is frozen. Burgers, wings, prime rib, roasted fresh daily, never frozen. That makes a huge difference. The mahi, the salmon, also super fresh. All our sauces are original recipes made in-house. Our Warhawk chili and fully loaded potato soup is made fresh in-house. It's the best food anywhere, served by people who actually care. Riveters on Dale Mabry, just north of 275, just south of where the Bucs and Rays play. We'll see you there. Are you looking to renovate your home, rebuild after the hurricanes, or build your dream home from scratch? Well, let me tell you about my friend Jason Fawcett and On-Site Construction. They have over 1,450 satisfied clients, 25 years of experience, over 500 designs, and a talented team of over 40 construction professionals. They believe building something exceptional begins by truly focusing on all the details, even the smallest ones. We understand that construction can be a daunting process, and we're here to make it as smooth and stress-free as possible. Quality is non-negotiable at On-Site Construction. We use the finest materials, employ the most skilled tradespeople, and adhere to the highest industry standards to deliver a product we're proud of and that you're going to love. Our project management is meticulous with a focus on completing projects on time and on budget. Your happiness is our primary driver. So give us a call at 813-579-5789 or check out our incredible website at onsiteconstructionfl.com. Are you having legal issues with a business partner or other legal business issues? The attorneys at Walters, Levine & DeGrave can help. Call 800-616-0384 for a free consultation. At Walters, Levine & DeGrave, we've redefined what a law firm can be with top-tier attorneys, personal service, and 26 years of success. From business law to civil litigation, we deliver smart, client-focused solutions. Walters, Levine & DeGrave recently won a $6.4 million jury verdict from a large real estate developer, and they can win for you too. Walters, Levine & DeGrave. Let's solve it together. Not attorney spokesman. For a free consultation, call 800-616-0384 or go to walterslevine.com. Offices Tampa, Sarasota.
Let's go.
Right now, back to the show on FanStream Sports.
All right, welcome back to the JP Peterson Show here on this Wednesday. Thank you for the lively comments we got going on. We'll get to those in just a second. And Isaac Howard. Big thanks to the folks at Riveters, our official bar and grill over there. I got it. I think I'm going to head over there for chicken wings today, buddy. I got to have their happy hour chicken wings. I might even double up and go buffalo chicken dip with it.
Wow.
Yeah.
Dip your wings in the buffalo chicken dip?
That's $20 right there. It's $8 for the dip and $12 for the wings. You get 8 wings. That's enough for 2, by the way.
Yeah, that's a meal right there.
Like friends. Yeah, so go down over to Riveters. Best wings, prime rib. They do the prime rib dinner on Friday and Saturday nights. Slow roasted. Oh, it's fabulous, and it's a great deal. And, of course, the staff there is fantastic. Cannot recommend it enough. So go watch the Rays today at Riveters. Got a day game today. So go watch them there. Go for lunch. Get the lunch specials. Stay for happy hour. Make a day of it. Riveters, right there just north of 275, just south of the sign on Dale Mabry.
JP, should we pull the curtain back here on the JP Peterson Show and show everyone that the absolute
house today
daycare that you are working with today?
The boys are all here.
It is romper room.
Doug's out of the studio today. You're gonna move in the shot. Go to your. There you go. There's Doug. Yeah, Dougie Robinson High School. Yeah, basketball player. He's been telling me some local basketball stores I got to get to. So that's kind of cool.
Nice. Yeah.
No, say hello, guys. Say hello to your mom and dad and your friends. There we go. This is the brain trust that is behind this shenanigans that goes on here on a daily basis. They're feeding me stories right and left. It's great stuff. We're doing radio camp next week. I've given them all an assignment. They have to have two topics apiece, and they're going to run point with the other two guys. And maybe we should take some clips out of that and put it on the show.
Oh, we're done. We're going to. I can't wait for this.
Now they're now they're terrified. No, we'll show the good stuff too, guys.
Yeah, really, don't be terrified, guys. We've all been there. Okay, we've all been there.
No, it'll be fun. We're gonna have coaching camp here. It'll be fun. So look forward to that.
How old is your oldest intern?
I think that would be Alex. How old are you, Alex?
20.
He's 20. Danny's a freshman at FSU. You're what, 19? And Doug is a junior at Robinson. You're what, 16? 17. 17. So, yeah. Wow.
I got underwear older than all three of those guys.
You probably do.
Might be wearing.
I don't want to smell them. Yeah. At least these guys shower when they come in, so that's good.
That's good. They're one shower a week.
Whatever it is, they're doing good on that part. Listen, I've had some interns that didn't, employees. And let me tell you, it's like, yeah, you're going to stay behind the glass today in the producer's room because you're not coming in the studio.
Oh, boy.
That was the thing. Really was the thing. He's like, man, I hope he showers today. Whew, man.
Good God. I've had girlfriends like that.
No names, but you know who you are.
JP, before we get off of baseball too terribly much, I wanted to share we had a rare occurrence in the world of baseball last night.
Oh, we did?
In the game between the San Francisco Giants and the Philadelphia Phillies, as Patrick Bailey hit a 3-run inside the park home run.
See that? Yes, yes.
To win the game, and it looked a little something like this. Bailey, it's off the drive, way out into right field. Off the brick wall. The bricks. This game is tied. Bailey's on the mound. Bailey's on the mound. And the game is pandemonium.
Beat the Phillies, huh?
Yeah.
Well, they're down 3-0, bases loaded.
Yeah. No, they were down 3-1.
Down 3. It was a 3-run.
It ended up being a 3-run dinger. Yeah.
3-run dinger.
But look,
wow.
To me, there is almost nothing more exciting in a baseball game than an inside the park home run. First of all, right?
Yeah.
Except for maybe when a guy hits for the cycle and the triple is his last at bat, right? When he gets the triple, like I saw Benji do that here in for the Rangers up in Boston way back in the day, and he just needed the triple. The fat guy legging out a triple, like that's exciting, right? But
that's good. That's good. And and it's like he has to run. Yeah. It's like you like it doesn't matter if the ball's in the outfield at any point, and even if the guy's ready to throw it and you're hitting second base, you got to go to third. And if you're a fat guy, it's even better because that's going to take a while. That's going to take a while.
Benji Molina legging that out.
Oh my God!
Up in Boston was like one of the greatest things I've ever seen. But there again, the inside the park run.
I need to see a highlight of that again because that would be really good.
I'll find it.
We had Mangum with his inside the park home run the other day, but that was, that was early in the game. Not consequential. It was actually a big play. It got him going.
Yeah. But an inside the parker to win the game, though.
Win we can walk off the game. Yeah. So it's like, because you see that it's like, oh, if it goes out, okay, great. It's a walk off. But now it's off the wall and it's bounding away. Yeah. And, and you got the shot of the guy running and then the guy's running after it. And this is what I love about ballparks like that. Quirky ballparks.
Oh, yeah.
With the exception of catwalks at Tropicana Field. That's not quirky. That's stupid. But that is kind of cool because you get the bounce. Now, the fun house is on and let's go. Yep. Let's see what happens. It's different. Like baseball needs some stuff like that. Yeah. It needs, different, that's the charm of the ivy at Wrigley, the green monster. That's why these places have stood the test of time. Right. Because people love it. It's aspirational. It's inspirational. Let's go to Wrigley. Let people a lot of people don't say let's go to the Cubs game. They're like, let's go to Wrigley. Let's go to Fenway. Have you ever heard somebody go, let's go to the Trop? No.
Let's go watch the Trop burn down.
Your air conditioner went out and you're trying to kill 8 hours while the guy comes to fix it, and you just need some air conditioning. Oh, let's go to the Trop. Oh, good idea. We'll get there early. It's going to cost you more than the air conditioner to eat and drink, but whatever. We'll go. It's air conditioning. But yeah, so that's I think baseball's got to tap into that.
Yeah.
And they have. I mean, you go to like most other places, like Houston's, that's like Minute Maid Park is like, we got to train, for God's sakes. It's entertainment. You don't need a train in the baseball stadium. You put it in there because it's fun. It's entertainment, for God's sakes.
Supposed to be. Yeah.
Yes. You got to, they used to have a pool in Arizona. I think they've taken it out. Like, why? I like pools at ballparks. That's a great idea. Cutaway shots. Although, sometimes you don't want to see people in the pool with their shirt off, but sometimes you do. Yeah. I mean, police the damn thing, for God's sakes. So yeah, I mean, and that's what I want to see when this park is built in Tampa. I hope it is an inspirational, well thought out, different types of things. Why wouldn't you do that? You need to do that to get people to games these days. Put a sports book in it. Put lots of restaurants in it. Have open decks and open seating where people can just have to sit in a seat next to somebody like this. They can have a little room to drink their beer and walk around like a bar.
Yep.
That's what you need. So, yeah.
Speaking of fun, JP, here is your Benji Molina Ranger cycle.
Oh yeah. Yesterday, he homered up on top of it.
He's a big boy. How does this turn into a
Benji Molina has another hit.
Oh, that's okay. We got to go through all the hits. All right, so we got the single. All right.
Benji Molina to right
field. Is
that
Tubby Sabathia on the mound? Who's that?
Get up there, and it's dropped by J.D. Drew. Molina's going to end up.
J.D. Drew, what are you doing? Go Knowles.
He's starting to swing the bat now. He hit the home run.
Oh, look how big he is. He's lovely. He is a lovely.
Just wait.
The Molinas were just trucks.
God, they were great.
Sitting behind the plate. Really talented. Oh, they were so good.
Benji Molina one into center field. It goes to the track. It goes to the wall. Benji Molina hits it out. A grand slam at Fenway.
Oh, it was a grand slam. Look at him.
Yeah.
He's going to leg out a triple here?
Yeah.
The anticipation is off the freaking charts right now.
Right?
Yeah.
Everyone knows it.
Oh, my God.
7-3. The Rangers.
He only had 6 career triples before this.
To make it 5-4.
Okay.
There goes Benji.
Run, Benji,
again.
run.
To center field.
See, we got the quirky part.
Now, could this
right,
be a triple?
wall.
Come on.
Oh, now
Benji, get going, kiddo.
Oh, Benji.
You got the cycle, big guy. Get there. He did it.
Fine. What is
Pigs have flown in Boston, Massachusetts.
Pigs have flown. Great line. Pigs have flown in Boston. Oh my God. Look how big he is.
Dude, how great is that, though? Like,
that is sensational.
I love that.
Oh my God!
It just that over and over again,
and it just happened. It had to happen that way. That ball had to hit as an angle to go into the corner to 420, where they had to go pick it up and bring it back. Wow!
6 career triples ever for him before that.
Yeah, he had to have the elevation. He had to have hang time to get him to second at least, and then to third. Didn't even have to slide. If that's Chandler Simpson, he scores standing up.
Yeah,
like he's already in the dugout.
That was a great Josh Lewin on the call. Josh Lewin on the call, and then Mr. Ranger Tom Grieve with the on the color. But Josh Lewin, at the same time that he was calling Rangers games, he was calling San Diego Chargers games. He was the play-by-play for both.
Okay.
For a while. So imagine his travel schedule, for both seasons. It's just nuts. But he was a good dude. That line, pigs have flown in Boston. That's forever embedded in Rangers lore with Benji Molina in that cycle. It was great. That's the stuff that's fun to watch, I don't care what team you cheer for.
Uh-oh.
What?
Guys, look up Tristan Wirfs. What do we got? Bucs basement, who spends all his time online, says the Wirfs injury is definitely devastating, with the fans and media asked for weeks about the knee injury, and the Bucs brushed it off as no big deal. Unreal. What
He's going to miss the start of the season. He had knee surgery. Tuesday
knee
night.
surgery.
Yeah, Tuesday night, last night.
Oh, I didn't see that. When did they release that? Well, it doesn't matter. It's out.
8 minutes ago.
Okay.
Is when the Tampa Bay Times, I'm sorry, the St. Pete Times really released that.
Wow. Whoa. Missed the beginning of the season. Okay. Yeah, that was, we showed up at, it's so funny. Like, so you show up at camp and they're at the beginning, usually it's 30 minutes, but they let us watch the whole thing for mandatory OTAs. And, we're all out there and we're just, Scott Reynolds, all the Peter Report guys, Rick Stroud, we're all just, we're shooting the crap. And somebody says to another one, is that a brace on Wirf's knee? Yeah. Was that there yesterday or last time we saw him in OT? Nope. Is that new? I think so. Is it new? Yeah. I think, yeah. And you get the consensus. Everybody's like, yeah. Like, oh, okay. And we all just, and then Bowles comes up and is like, yeah, what's going on with his knee? Is that precaution? It'd be, it's just, yeah, no big deal. No big deal.
Well, you downplay it because you don't want to overplay it, right? I mean, I don't think that's
so
yeah,
right. Yeah, this is from Rick Stroud. The Bucs will start the season without All-Pro tackle Tristan Wirfs, who underwent surgery on his right knee Tuesday, and likely will miss at least the first couple of games of the regular season. Wirfs aggravated a right knee injury that forced him to miss one game last season. The Bucs scheduled arthroscopic surgery Tuesday, and some additional minor damage was found. Wirfs likely will begin the season on the physically unable to perform list. It's a big blow for the Bucs. Wirfs protects the blind side, blah, 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 blah.
If he starts
they signed 49ers left tackle Charlie Heck in free agency, and he will likely replace Wirfs to start the season.
I don't know anything about Charlie Heck.
His dad was a great player.
Yeah.
He's a journeyman.
So if he starts on the PUP list, doesn't he have to miss the first 4 games? Or
no.
Is that like an IL thing, right?
Yeah, that's another list.
Okay, all right.
So the PUP list allows you to bring him back before 4 games. So if you think he can play week 2, week 3, even week 4, you put him on that list. But I think it counts towards the roster. It's in some way, maybe towards the price. I don't know all the rules. Well,
it's all right.
I mean,
it's not the end of the world.
Nope. It's not the end of the world.
First hiccup that we've seen so far for the upcoming season.
And of course, the question everybody's going to ask is, if this was from last season, why didn't you get it done earlier?
That's a big question. You already gave your vote of confidence for that was the Rays medical staff. How do you feel about the Bucs medical staff?
Did they change to the Rays medical staff? That's the first thing I thought. Like, who's running this show now? Now, I mean, the Rays medical staff has done the Bucs has done a fantastic job over the years. We haven't had, issues with that.
Right.
But, I think I think sometimes these are things like, it hurts, let's do an MRI. I don't see any significant damage.
Right.
Let's see if it heals before we do any surgery. And then don't forget these guys aren't sitting on the couch eating bonbons the entire off season. They're working out.
Not anymore.
They're doing things. They're doing, he's doing big time. I'm sure he's doing big time heavy squats. That's what linemen do. They get in there and they do big time heavy squats. And maybe while he was squatting, something happened. And that injury, just popped up and it got worse. And they put a brace on it. And they thought, because if they were thought it was, really bad, they wouldn't have had him out there at OTAs. They must just thought it was a little sore.
If I remember correctly, he was at minicamp with a brace on his knee and he did not participate, right?
Yes.
And
he participated in some stuff. I don't think he did team, though. He didn't
maybe
do
it
team.
was just that one day that I'm recalling he did, like on a Tuesday or something, he didn't participate. But I want to say they said at the time it was an off-season injury. It didn't happen during last season.
Well, it's the same knee that he missed some games with last year.
Okay.
So, I mean, what I'm thinking is this was a partially torn meniscus that this is complete speculation. But just, in talking to my friends who do stem cells and all this stuff and doctors who work with stem cells, I'm sure that unlike the Rays, the Bucs believe in stem cells. They would have injected it with PRP and stem cells and tried to regenerate the ligaments, which really works well. And for most people, and maybe that's what they were doing, pure speculation again. And maybe he re-injured it. Don't know. Don't have any idea, but that could be, these are just possibilities. I mean, typical protocol these days would be sore knee. Let's get an MRI. Oh, looks like there's a little partial tear. Let's, instead of surgery, let's do, stem cells, see if we can, all that stuff. That's what they do these days. So, famously, we remember Ryan Jensen went the stem cell route and it totally regenerated the knee, the ligaments. The ligaments were 100%, but he had cartilage damage, which was irreversible. And that's what led to his retirement, according to them, according to his doctors. And that's what Ryan said. So weird, but again, listen, I'm looking at the comments and it's like, oh, season's over. People, relax.
Oh, come on.
Relax.
Was it over when the Germans bombed Pearl Harbor?
Germans? Stop it. It's rolling.
Let him go. He's rolling.
Yep.
All right. Well, here's your book on Charlie Heck. He was a 4th-round pick of the Texans in 2020, the son, of course, of Andy Heck. He has, across 5 seasons, 50 appearances with 23 starts between the Texans, the Cardinals, and the who is that?
Is that XFL team?
San Francisco 49ers. Sorry, they had a weird abbreviation. It said SFO instead of just SF. I'm like, what the heck is that? So, yeah, and the 49ers. So that was his most recent team. So, I mean, you said journeyman. That's probably correct. He's 28 years old. 6'8", 315. But, yeah, he's no Tristan Wirfs.
Well, listen, if you're Josh Grizzard, start adjusting your playbook. Let's not wait till the first half where we realize that you're going to have to put more than one person on to contain a certain defensive end. Let's go ahead and giving him some help out there. That's what they're going to have to do.
Are we going to see some 2-back sets now for some extra protection?
Well, this is why, people are like, oh, Rashad White, who cares if we resign him, blah, blah, we got Bucky. I'm like,
this is why.
Yeah, this is why. This is why. Because you need protection. You need a guy that can chip or can help out on outside rushers. It's not good. And I don't care any way you slice it, it's not good. But I guess the best part about it is it's not in season ending. They're taking care of it early, and he'll be back and hopefully ready to go by week 4. It's it's 9 weeks to the opener. So, typically if it's not an ACL, this is just typical total speculation. If it's not an ACL, which it's not, it means it's a torn meniscus likely, and those take 6 to 8 weeks to heal. So, I mean, and it may be a little bit more than that. So we don't know. And then you wonder
when he does come back, he's not going to be 100% if he starts in week 3, right? They're saying he might miss 2 weeks. If he comes back in week 3, is a 70% Tristan Wirfs better than 100% Charlie Heck? Yes, I will take that. So let's not have cries of gloom and doom here, Bucs fans, because this is just one of those things you have to deal with in a long off season.
Yeah.
And
well, it just underscores how good this offseason has been. The last 2 off seasons have been for this team. It's like an injury that keeps your left tackle out for 2 or 3 weeks is catastrophic to Bucs fans now because nothing has gone wrong in the off seasons. Like it's been really smooth. And so this is a bit of adversity that your team has. Every team goes through this. Every team. This offensive line has been remarkably intact over the last couple of years in terms of injuries. Remarkably. So this is just average. It's still with this injury, you're still doing good. So I think PFS has had the Bucs listed as the 6th best offensive line. Mm-hmm. And listen, it's going to affect your offense. There's no question about it. No question about it. It's This is like when you lose a Hainsey, who was kind of your swing tackle, and we lost another swing tackle too. I forget his name, who played well at times last year. Guys, remind me who came in. What was his name? Started with an S. Anyway, that guy who came in and played well, and we lost him. And listen, and people are asking, is there a talking
about Opeta?
No.
Not Opeta. It was Jesus.
I don't know. We'll get the name here in a second. But that guy came in and played well at times. And so, yeah, are there veteran tackles out there? No. There may be. I'm trying to think off the top of my head. Is somebody that retired last year that might be able to come in and give you 3-4 games that won't be as Schooley. Thank you, Bucs Basement. I knew you'd be
there. Yeah. There you go.
Schooley. See, I remember it. Started with an S, and it was hard to pronounce. Some couple people called it School. Some called it Schooley. But he came in and spelled Gedeke for a couple games.
Justin Schooley. There you go.
Yeah, and was good. But I don't think he's on the roster anymore, right, guys? Schooley? No, I think he left. So, yeah, it's O-line injuries are tough because nobody has any depth.
Now. Yeah, he plays for the Vikings.
Nobody has any depth. And now, here's an interesting thing. Here's a very interesting thing. Our boy, Chikamwa. This is the guy that played at Georgia State. That's from Africa, who was a soccer player, super raw. We signed him as an undrafted, and I watched him in training camp. He ain't ready. He's raw as an egg coming right out the hen. But he's got some feet, man. This guy is going to be good. Now, I'm just thinking of him like, okay, he's got the ability, but I don't think there's any way they can get him ready to go. But he's good. This guy's I think he can play in this league. I really, really do. He's played 2 years of football, I think. He really shined at the Senior Bowl. He looks fantastic. He's a very good athlete. He's 6'6", 310, 15 pounds. It looks like a sprinter.
Seems large.
He's a big dude. But he's really thin. Like he's super athletic. He's a freak. He's a freak. But I just think he's way too raw. I just thought of his this guy. And listen, I asked Bowles about him. And they're like, they like this kid. They really, really do. It's not like he just started playing football, but he doesn't have a lot of games under his belt, but he is raw, but a tremendous athlete. And I don't think you could get him ready to go. I don't. I think you're much better going with Hecht, who's started games in this league.
I mean, your last serious injury on the offensive line, long term, was Jensen, right?
Mm-hmm.
So they've had some
and
fortune.
The retirement of Ali Marpet didn't help.
Yeah, and they've had some fortune then across the offensive line.
Oh, yes, absolutely.
Just the law of averages.
Yeah, Gedeke missed a few games with concussion.
Right. And
Schooley played well in his absence, but Wirfs is such a big part of the run game and his athleticism that he can do things that other offensive tackles just can't do, and it's a big part of their running game. So they just have to adjust. This is what all teams go through. You got to do it. So
the only way this turns into something catastrophic is if Charlie Hecht has absolutely a big bag of nothing, and against the Falcons in Week 1, he allows somebody to come free against Mayfield, and Mayfield gets hurt.
Yeah,
not knocking on wood. It is a wood desk, by the way.
Yeah.
And that's the only way.
Yeah.
That's the worst case scenario. But guys, this is not. Yeah, don't start crying anything other than this is. It is what it is, right? It's not doom and gloom.
Right.
It is what it is. Every team's going to have to deal with something like this before the start of the season. So you just you move on to the next one. You bring up the next guy, which right now is Charlie Hecht, and he'll get. The nice thing is he's going to get all the reps now through training camp and in the preseason, so he'll be ready to go. But this is the first chink in the armor for Josh as the offensive coordinator now,
and you have to adjust.
Right.
You have to adjust. You cannot. Yeah. You cannot just run your regular offense like you would with Tristan Wirfs out there. It's that would be stupid.
But it's early enough that you have time to make adjustments. You have time now to make adjustments.
Exactly.
You have all of training camp in the preseason now. You already know this is happening.
Yeah. You got a long time.
This would have been totally worse if this was first week of training camp, the last week of training camp, first preseason game, yeah, it would have been worse. This is the best. If it's going to happen, this is the best case scenario.
Absolutely. And they should be able to adjust. We'll see. And there may be a veteran out there, that just went into retirement or they there could be somebody on a team where an offensive lineman surprises in training camp and someone becomes expendable. But do you want to give up any assets for a guy that's only going to play 4 games? No, you don't. Not significant assets if it's going to be a trade. Right. So you got to just suck it up and go play.
By the way, you know who is out there right now?
Who's that?
Brandon Scherf. Shaq Mason. Tyron Smith.
Jack Mason's guard, though.
True.
And a very old one.
So Scherf. yeah. Tyron Smith is a tackle, but he's even older.
Yeah.
So
I mean, you could get somebody. If there's a couple guys that don't have that much left in the tank, and you're like, hey, you come play 4 weeks for us, and maybe never know what goes on the rest of the season.
Or do you just roll with Heck? Maybe he's your best option.
What the heck?
What the heck? We need to print T-shirts right now. What the heck?
It could go either way, right?
Yeah, right.
Depending
it could
on
be
your
a really good thing or a really bad thing.
Depending on your voice inflection, it could go either way. So a T-shirt, it will work either way. What the heck? What the heck? Right?
It's kind of like the FU.
You can vote. What's it going to be more of the what the heck or what the heck? What's it going to be? A or B? It may turn into what the F.
Yeah.
That's what it may turn into. And if it turns into that, we got issues.
We may have problems.
Yeah. Nathan Elliott's like, what did I miss? Back from a client meeting. Tristan Wirfs is dead.
Gentlemen, we got a big fucking problem.
Thank you, Richard Nixon, Paul Wilson. See, that was good. That was really good. No, he'll be back. He'll be back. Some of the fans are treating like he's deceased, but he's not.
JP, here's 90% of our listeners and viewers right now. They're
calm down, people. All right, let's take another break. We got to get to the Isaac Howard stuff as well. We'll get your comments here on Wirfs. So now breaking news. We thought it might be a slow day. Never on the JP Peterson Show. Never. Hey, the Golden Diamond Source is a great place to go shopping. But how about you walk in there and they give you money? Lots of money. Well, how do you do that, JP? You bring them your gold. Bring them your gold. Go get your doubloons. And
looking like a true buccaneer.
Go find your doubloons, your Gasparilla doubloons, not the fake ones. Don't bring those in, please. No, but bring your gold into the Golden Diamond Source. There's never been a time where gold has been higher, except maybe back, in the Egyptian days. I don't know. But yeah, it's high right now, and you can bring it in. They'll pay you great prices for the gold that you're not even wearing. So go get that Guido chain you wore in middle school, that real thick one. It's got lots of gold in it. You probably stole from your friend at basketball practice. Yeah, go grab that one and bring it into Golden Diamond Source. The cops are calling right now.
They are.
He's calling Tim right
Where's
now.
me gold doubloons?
Where's me doubloons? You stole me necklace. I know you did. So anything you've plundered in the last few years, bring it into the Golden Diamond Source. They ask no questions. Lord knows where this library's going. I hope they like this one, Julie and Steve. But point is, you won't forget, gold is at an all-time high, and you can bring it in. They'll pay you high prices for it, no matter where you find it. So go on into the Golden Diamond Source. That's one thing you can do. And buy an engagement ring as well. Get a real diamond, not a fake diamond. Do not start your relationship with a fake diamond. Bad idea. Get a real diamond. No place better to do it than the Golden Diamond Source. Great staff, great selection, great prices, and you can get 0% financing for up to 5 years. The Golden Diamond Source. That's where you take your doubloons. 3800 Olmsted Road. Back in 3. Hey, JP here for my concierge medical professional, Chris Lugo, PA. You've heard him on the show for a couple of years where he shares invaluable medical, nutritional, and supplement advice. With Chris, it's like having a medical provider as your best friend. What I love about this concierge service is the convenience and support he offers. I can text or call him 24/7 with any questions or concerns, and he'll promptly call in a prescription if needed. No office visits or copays required. It gives me peace of mind knowing I have someone genuinely invested in my health, not just focused on insurance profits. And the best part, the Bay Area Modern Medical Center's personal concierge service is more affordable than you might think. Don't let insurance companies dictate your health care. Take control of your health and wellness today. Visit BAMMC.com for more information and to schedule your initial free consultation. Empower yourself and take charge of your personal health with BAMMC.com. Hey, JP here for the Gold and Diamond Source. And you know I'm always trying to find ways to save you money or make you money. Well, here's a great idea from Julie and Steve Weintraub at the Gold and Diamond Source. Gold is at an all-time high, so if you bring in your old jewelry, Steve and Julie will buy it off you and offer you the highest trade-in values of the year. It's the perfect time to upgrade what you're not wearing into something you'll never want to take off. So take advantage of that right now. The custom engagement rings to birthstones, tennis bracelets, diamond studs, whatever's on your wish list, the Gold and Diamond Source can make it happen. And did you know they also have the largest selection of any men's jewelry in the area? A great new section there. Check that out. They have free services like free settings, free cleanings, free appraisals, all that stuff right there at the Gold and Diamond Source. Family owned and trusted for over 40 years. Great folks over there. We love promoting these great local companies. None better than the Gold and Diamond Source. 3800 Ulmerton Road, always online at thegoldendiamondsource.com. JP here for the Jeeves Law Group and my man Scott Jeeves. If you're going to hire an attorney, do you want some guy looking for a quick settlement and a quick buck, or do you want an attorney with some chops? Scott is a board-certified civil trial lawyer and a certified circuit court mediator. Been practicing in the Tampa Bay area for over 30 years. He is a peer-reviewed AV preeminent rated civil trial lawyer. They just don't hand out those classifications. He's been the lead class action counsel on many complex consumer protection cases and has handled hundreds of serious personal injury cases. He's dedicated his career to protecting injured victims and is committed to vigorously representing you. We're local, we're trusted, and we get results. Personal injury and personal attention. Call for a free case evaluation. That's 888-9-JEEVES. That's 888-9-JEEVES. The Jeeves Law Group. Summer is coming. Do not get caught with your unit unprepared. Your AC unit, of course. The awesome folks at Third Generation Plumbing and AC have a special going on right now. You get a free 1-year maintenance package with any purchase of a new unit. They have special 60-month financing as well, so you don't need a huge chunk up front. Third Generation has an impeccable reputation built over 30 years of doing business. They do plumbing, AC, mechanical work, anything you need around the house. They are trusted folks. Go to the website and read the 5-star reviews. Deidre said, great company that always arrives timely. We have used them for our AC both in home and business and have been very happy. The staff is knowledgeable and professional. I would recommend Third Generation again and again. So give Third Generation a call at 813-961-8024 or go to thirdgenerationplumbing.com.
Ciao, Paolo Tini here, owner of Caffè Paradiso, voted number 3 People's Choice Award on Open Table. I want to thank all our loyal family of customers that have been enjoying our great traditional Italian dishes we make from scratch every day. It's a great family story we're proud of. Our family moved from Rimini, Italy in 1984. My dad, Caesar, started Donatello, and that's where I got the start in the restaurant business. I started Caffè Paradiso on South McDill in 1995, and we've been there ever since. From our traditional ossobuco, a veal slow roast for 4 hours, to our daily fresh catch, the Gruppo Paradiso, with a piccata sauce and lobster claw meat, homemade pasta like lasagna, farfalle salchicha, which is a bow tie pasta homemade with fresh sausage. Hold on a minute, JP's favorite. I love it. So come and have a glass of wine with me on South McDill. Get a reservation on Open Table and see all our 5-star reviews. Ciao, see you soon at Paradiso.
Let's go.
Right now, back to the show on FanStream Sports.
All right, welcome back to the JP Peterson Show, brought to you by the great folks at OnSiteConstructionFL.com. Great folks over there, Jason Fawcett. You've heard him. He's been in studio here. There's my camera there. Great dude, great company over there. And here's why we say get that free consultation now. He'll come out to your house and he'll check out, tell you what things you might be able to do for hurricane preparedness, number one. And if the hurricane hits and you have damage, you're already on the preferred client list. So you don't have to go out and look for a contractor and have all these people come to your house. You have no idea who they are, what their reputation is. That happened a lot after the hurricane because people were desperate. Don't be desperate. Get to know your contractor now. OnsiteConstructionFL.com. Jason Foss said he'll come out for free, talk to you about what you can do with your house, and they do tremendous work. Go to their website. You see it right there, OnsiteConstructionFL.com, and see all the great pictures, all the great work, the 5-star reviews. So be proactive when it comes to hurricane preparedness in this way. And know who your contractor is. Be on that preferred client list so you can get your work done as soon as possible. OnsiteConstructionFL.com. All right, my friend. Should we get to some of the comments here?
Yeah, let's do it.
We got a lot. And we love you people. It is doom. It is all doom and gloom out there. As far as
come on, you guys.
Where's James? James says, Wirf's injury devastating. Why didn't he have the surgery sooner? So the injuries begin. This time on offense, this team is effing cursed.
Good grief! What are you guys doing here?
Now, I will say this about James. James has a history of this, and it's good. So you know, like when I start dogging a Rays player, they go out and hit 2 home runs the next day, right? Like, always happens. Whenever James goes negative, something good happens. Something turns around. So he's actually setting this up for a very good outcome. So if James keeps talking like this, Wirfs will be ready week 1. So keep it up, James. All good. Michael LaRue says the Bucs will start this season without all-pro left tackle. Yeah, so he's quoting the Times there. Then James says, hope you didn't place your Baker over bets. He's toast.
Come on.
So, season's over. Baker's toast. Team is effing cursed, according to James. Keep it up, partner. You're on a roll. The Super Bowl is right around the corner. You keep doing this. Bucs basement. Speaking of negativity, Charlie Heck against James Pierce Jr., who's not played it down to the NFL, but evidently it's trouble. Will Anderson, Nolan Smith, best of luck, Baker. Who's the opening day left tackle? What the heck? It's Charlie Heck. Hey, by the way, Rays game is moved to 5:10 today. Thank you, Joseph Collins. Good to know.
Because it's hot? Is that why? Because it's too hot?
The Blue Jays aren't playing. John Snyder's not.
John Snyder doesn't care.
John Snyder's like, it's hot. Can we move the game to later in the evening? Not a major league ballpark. Creep it into my team's mental. Depends. I can't. Now they're in first place. So
idiot.
Yeah, he must be keeping them cool. Michael LaRue said Charlie Heck was on the 49ers as a backup tackle last year. That is true. I mean, the guy can play. Bucks Baby says Rashad White will be RB1 for the first 4 games. LOL, simply because he can pass block. God, you people, like, they'll figure it out. Like, have there ever been a left tackle injury before? Tim Ham to a team? Has that ever happened before?
No team can overcome that.
No team can not for the first 4 games. How is it even possible?
No.
Armageddon.
Especially when you have a mobile quarterback who can run like Baker. That doesn't help at all.
2.5 months to figure it out. 2 months. What else we got? Bucks Rays both says we need him for the Jets. The Jets? What about Philadelphia?
Yeah, it's weird.
Yeah. Michael Lewis said the Wirfs had a brace on his knee and was held out of minicamp last month. No, he was out there. That's why we saw the brace on his knee, but he didn't take part in team drills. He was out there running around.
Yeah.
I get why this wasn't done in January, February, but why wasn't this done a month ago? It's a good question. It's a really good question, Michael Lewis. Here's the thing, though. Like, and when it comes to medical stuff, we don't know anything. Like, they have so much more information than us. So all we can do is speculate. And so then you go to the car. Well, do you trust this organization? Do they have a good track record with handling injuries? Yes. I would say for the Bucs, yes. For the Rays, I would say no. So anything they say about injuries, we go, well, 90% of the things you tell us don't turn out to be true. So we don't trust you. Now with the Bucs, it's different. It's completely different. So I don't know why they didn't, but I guarantee they had a really good reason. And maybe Tristan didn't want surgery and just felt like we could just rest it and be ready.
Right.
And then they went in there. And sometimes arthroscopic surgery, they go in there and they're like, oh, MRIs are great, but you never know until you get that scope in there what you're going to find. And they found some more damage. And, you got to remember, Tristan Wirfs is a superhero. Like he is, he jumps out of pools. Never seen that before in my life, a human being being able to do that. So he's going to feel invincible. And he's going to give feedback, it's a little sore. It's a little sore. Nothing to worry about. Let's put a brace on. Okay, great. And you got to rely on the player's feedback. He probably has a humongous pain tolerance because he's superhuman. So they said, you know what? Let's go in there and clean it up. Do a little arthroscopic, get all the freaking bone spurs and stuff, get them out of there, clean it up. Guys do this all the time. And it's a 4 to 6 week thing. Boom, they're ready to go. And even sometimes less than that because there's nothing. But sometimes you get in there and you find stuff that you like, whoa, looks like we have a tear here. And it's a little bit more significant than we saw in the MRI because MRIs are not a
fucking problem.
It's what they said. Richard Nixon was actually doing the operation, and we have audio from the room when they looked into it. And what did he say?
Gentlemen, we got a big fucking problem.
That's what we got.
Oh, tricky dick.
So we have to pivot, adjust, and go to work.
And there's time to do that. I don't understand why you guys are freaking out here. No, it's not an ideal situation, but it's not a worst case scenario either.
Exactly. Ryan Ramczyk recently retired. This is Nathan Ollie. He was a right tackle. Yep. Teron Armstead recently retired. Tyron Smith recently retired. Could they come back on the cheap and short contract? Who knows? Yeah, I think that's something you look at, because a lot of these guys retire. They got lots of money, and they're like, I don't want to go through a whole season.
Especially on
they also are like, I don't want to go through training camp either. That's the last thing they want to do. So they want to go through a whole training camp and play, 3 or 4 games. I don't know. If they're retired, probably not. And probably not.
And
but,
they may look at a couple of these guys. I'm not opposed to bringing Tyron Smith in. I know he's a 14-year veteran, but it's a Hall of Fame 14-year career, by the way. I know he wasn't great with the Jets like he was with the Cowboys for the previous.
He could stand there and be better than
But
Charlie.
yeah, dude.
No disrespect to Charlie.
No, he is a massive man. And you know what? At the very least,
great. It's more to his greatness than Charlie's.
Yes. Yeah. He's a Hall of Famer. First ballot Hall of Famer. And you bring him in for training camp and at least just see what he's got. If he doesn't have it, you cut him and you move on. But at least you gave yourself options, right?
Right.
And that's probably the approach that Jason Light will take here. That's my get. Not necessarily with Smith, but bringing somebody in, maybe a couple of guys to compete.
And they got to be, they got to be into it too. And that's what I'm telling you. And when you retire, this whole offseason, these guys aren't thinking about football. They're moving on with their life. Yeah. But sometimes when that training camp whistle comes, they're like, I miss the boys. I miss it a little bit more than I thought I would. Maybe one more go around. Just you got to. Hey, here's another thing. If you're Ryan Ramczyk and I'm pretty sure he wasn't on that Saints Super Bowl team. But if you don't have a ring and you're like, the old Roman Oben, and who was the other guy?
Oh yeah.
Oh God, I can't remember on the 2002 team. Lomas Brown. Lomas Brown was retired. And he came out of retirement to fill a spot, stayed on the team the whole year, helped out the young guys, won a Super Bowl ring.
And by the way, Ramczyk's only 31.
Yeah, he retired early. Yeah, he did. But he's also a right tackle.
And no, he didn't come into the league until 2017, so he missed the Saints Super Bowl by like 8 years.
Yeah, that's what I thought. So he's not going to bounce over to left for 1 year. That's not a thing. It's got to be a guy that's played left tackle, recently retired. Tyron Smith, yeah, that would work. So I don't know. And with Wirfs, here's another thing with Wirfs. Again, he's superhuman. I don't know what the injury is. I don't know what the serious, what the other, it was more serious. I don't know what they found. Total speculation. But again, if it's not, it's kind of one or the other, right? If it's an ACL, it's months. But everything else, pretty much you clean up and it's 6 to 8 weeks, and you're ready to go. So, and but it also depends on the if it is a torn meniscus, then how much is it torn? Like, so that can deviate drastically. So yeah, there's a lot we don't know, but
the fact that they went in, number one, the fact that this side sort of progressed for a while tells me that it's not an ACL issue, because they would have seen that and identified it immediately, right? The fact that he's had the surgery, they've been inside his knee, they know what it looks like, and the doctors are the ones that are giving the recovery timeline. That tells me that it probably wasn't as serious as it could have been. Right. And they just said, but you know what? We finally see what's going on here. Let's just go in and fix it and get it out of the way. He might miss a couple of weeks in the regular season, but it'll be fixed and he's good to go. To me, that's what happened here.
Right.
And that's a good thing.
I don't even know if I should put this but I'll do it anyway just for fun. Bucks Rays Bolt said, could this be a tank season now if the start?
For the love of God, it is July 9th. Happy birthday, Eli, by the way. My son Eli's birthday.
Yeah, that's so bad. Bucks Race Bolt said, even negative James thinks you're crazy.
Wow.
Next season's coming. Come on. When James thinks you're being negative, bro, you are being negative.
Wow.
You just took the torch.
That is insane.
Okay, according to Adam Schefter, says John Hill, lingering soreness in the right knee, underwent arthroscopic surgery after good days and then setbacks. Team decided to address now. That was Japanese. Adam Schefter.
What was that? Who's reporting this? Trisha Takanawa? Wow, Trisha's live.
Yamanori. Sorry.
I don't know how I just put Trisha Takanawa out of my ass.
Again, folks, we got to understand medical situations like this. It's not black and white. These are not like black and white things. They're very gray area-ish, right? It's like, okay, soreness. Like I said, knee sore. I was squatting the other day, felt a little something. I was running around doing some agility drills, felt a little something. All right, let's take a look. MRI. Can't really see much here. Let's just go ahead and arthroscope it, see what's going on. Oh, here we go. Now we got something. Okay. All right. This is going to be a little bit more than we thought. That's the way these things go, folks. It's not like the guys are going in, hey, let's do your MRI today. We're not doing MRIs every day after every practice to see what exactly is going on. You have to get feedback from the player to find out what's going on. And someone like Tristan Wirfs, who's superhuman, is going to be like, a little swelling, but not, we'll get past it. And then finally they'll go, we probably need to do something a little bit more serious. It's a very gray area-ish type thing. Right. And, it's not the end of the world. It's not the end of the world. James, the voice of reason now, says, come on, guys. It wasn't long ago without Tristan versus the Rams in divisional playoffs. We were down 27-3. Bucks came back recovering 4 fumbles, but you saw how they played without Tristan. But again, that's in a game or in short order, you have to try and figure something out. You got 2 months. You got 2 months to figure this out. Which plays are going to work, which plays aren't, which plays, what sets are going to be better, how against certain teams, how are we going to, block this, chip, running back, tight end, what are we going to do? You got tons of time to figure this out, not a quarter. So nobody's sitting here saying we're going to have, we're going to play the whole season without Tristan Wirfs and we're going to be just as good. No. So let's just calm down and we got time to figure it out and see what happens. We're like 30 minutes into this thing.
Take 24 hours and get back to us tomorrow and tell us how you feel then. And if you still feel gloomy and doomy, just stop. We don't need to hear that.
Nathan says Tristan the Wall Wirfs is the best tackle in the game. This is a concern, but this is getting done, and the Charlie fill-in heck will be fine. The offense can adjust and play. Yeah,
there you go.
That's what I'm talking about. Golly. Can the Bucs open up wallets, buy someone? Well, they always do. It's never been a matter of money, not in the last 10 years. By the way, this is first reported by Jonathan Jones, CBS Sports, in reference to Wirfs. And he's reporting he'll start on the PUP list. Yes, Lomas Brown, you got it first. My brain clicked in.
How does this affect Tristan Wirfs' odds and chances of winning the league's very first Protector of the Year award, as he was one of the top 3 favorites for that?
Who cares? I mean, sorry. I just who cares? We're worried about the team here, man. Oh, he's not going to win the Protector.
There are people out there that are focused on that, though, JP. Right now,
bet on it. I can guess. Yeah, fine.
Oh yeah, you're screwed.
All right, let's take. I'm sorry, we're putting this off, but it's breaking news, right? Breaking news. We couldn't get to the Isaac Howard thing. Coming up next, we'll get to your comments on Isaac Howard. Who won the trade? Let's hope no other major injuries or even minor injuries come up, because you all lose your mind, and we got to do that for another half hour. We are brought to you by the great folks at Third Generation Plumbing and AC. If you got any trouble with your AC or your plumbing or any mechanical things in your house, John Rodriguez and his family, great family-owned business, 3 generations, thus the name. They've been doing this, and he's been around longer than that, their family has. So great folks over there, great local company. You will not be screwed over like so many AC companies do these days, trying to sell you a brand new unit for $25,000 when all you need is a drain clean. Happens all the time, folks. Don't fall for that stuff. Go with an honest company who's been in business for 30 years here locally. It's thirdgenerationplumbing.com. Back in 3. JP here for Riveters, the official sports bar and grill of the JP Peterson Show. We're located just south of Ray J and Steinbrenner Field, so it's a great pre- and post-game spot, and the happy hour is amazing. Monday through Friday, 3 to 7. Check out these specials. $3 Bud Light drafts, $4 domestic bottles, $5 wells, $6 premium wells, $6 cocktails like margaritas. That's unheard of. And the Riveters food is freshly made daily. No freezers. Happy hour food specials include $3.50 tacos and barbecue sliders. $6 you get edamame or chips with the beer cheese, which is amazing. $8 buffalo chicken dip, my favorite. The truffle fries, chili cheese fries, also $8 at happy hour. As well as other specials throughout the week, including Taco Tuesdays, you get $3 tacos, and Wing Wednesdays, 7 o'clock to 1 a.m. in the morning, you get our amazing wings, 5 for $5 and $5 wells and wines. That's a good Wednesday night. So if you're tired of the preppy, overpriced, generic sports bars, come see the amazing, friendly bartenders and staff at Riveters, where customer service really matters. Riveters, just south of where the Rays and Bucks play. We'll see you there. Going through a medical emergency without health care insurance can cause you to go into crippling debt. In most scenarios, people are forced to either break into their retirement funds or worse, they're forced to file for bankruptcy. The sad truth is that health care insurance is crucial in today's day and age. Look, I get it. Many of you think you're never going to get sick and health insurance is really expensive. Well, we can help you out with that. Depending on your income, we can find great plans at huge discounts. God forbid you get cancer, a car accident. It could literally ruin you financially for life. So make the call and find out. Even though the open enrollment period is over, you may have some qualifying life events that can help you get covered right away. It can be very complicated, a very intimidating process, but we can help. Go to our website and check out all the 5-star reviews about our helpful agents. Go to don'tgouncovered.com or call 800-669-1505. That's 800-669-1505. Spring means a time of renewal and Rays baseball, and the folks at Italiano Insurance want to welcome the Rays to Tampa and remind you it's time to renew those insurance policies with the now famous Italiano Insurance Checkup. Let the experienced and friendly agents shop your policy for the best price and coverage. Famous for saving me over $1,000 on our auto insurance last year and over $500 on our homeowners. Now that's a grand slam. Might as well get a double play by adding flood insurance and business insurance to your portfolio. Costs less than you think, and trust me, you do not want to risk your home or personal wealth. That's a big whiff. So step up to the plate and call 813-877-7799 and chat with the all-star agents at Italiano Insurance. 813-877-7799 or go to ItalianoInsurance.com. Go Rays! JP here for my friend Jason Fawcett, owner of On-Site Construction. They do residential and commercial renovations and new construction. As a leading home builder and general contractor, On-Site Construction prides itself on transforming homes through superior craftsmanship, dedication to client vision, and an unmatched commitment to quality and service. It's about building relationships. We take the time to understand our clients' needs, preferences, and budgets so that we can deliver a personalized experience tailored to their unique vision. From the initial designs to the final touches, we're there every step of the way, ensuring that the end result mirrors your vision. Here are some testimonials from happy customers. G. Gibson says, no hidden costs, very honest, reliable, creative, and communicates well. Reasonable and fair with their pricing, no hidden costs. C. Smith said, did not disappoint. I'm very happy with the work. This company really cares and will take care of it. So if you're just thinking about building or renovating, give us a call and let's see what's possible. 813-579-5789 or check out our website at onsiteconstructionfl.com. Are you having legal issues with a business partner or other legal business issues? The attorneys at Walters, Levine & DeGrave can help. Call 800-616-0384 for a free consultation. At Walters, Levine & DeGrave, we've redefined what a law firm can be with top-tier attorneys, personal service, and 26 years of success. From business law to civil litigation, we deliver smart, client-focused solutions. Walters, Levine & DeGrave recently won a $6.4 million jury verdict from a large real estate developer, and they can win for you too. Walters, Levine & DeGrave. Let's solve it together. Not attorney spokesman. For a free consultation, call 800-616-0384 or go to walterslevine.com. Offices Tampa, Sarasota.
Let's go.
Right now, back to the show on FanStream Sports.
All right, we have more bad breaking news coming up. We'll share that with you in just a moment.
Maybe we should just stop checking the news.
Well, I got all these knuckleheads in there. They got nothing else to do. They keep bringing up bad news, though. Merry Christmas. Get out of here, all of you.
Oh, Lord.
We're brought to you by Italiano Insurance, 813-877-7799. You know, a lot of people have homeowners insurance, and when they had a hurricane hit and they tried to get money, they wouldn't give money. That's not good. That is not good. Italiano Insurance pays attention to the companies that are easy to work with and those that are not. And they are not going to put you with a bad company. So this is why you need them to do all the research and you save all the money. They'll get you the best price, but sometimes it's not the best price that you need to go with, folks. It's with companies that will actually pay out when you need them to do so. And they know who they are. So don't try to do all that research yourself. Italiano Insurance knows these folks, who's good, who's bad. And they will not put you with one that's not going to pay. ItalianoInsurance.com, 813-877-7799. Very important stuff. They're going to make sure you have enough insurance. That was another thing that happened to so many people. They weren't properly insured. As house and construction costs go up and the value of your house goes up, so does your insurance. It should match that. And for many of you, that didn't happen. So let's not find out about this after the fact. Let's go in and know exactly what you're getting, because paying for homeowners insurance is expensive. And if it's not even going to pay off, then why even have it, right? So get it done right, ItalianoInsurance.com. All right, so guess what? As we found out last night in the middle of the game, the Rays game, Junior Caminero is going to the All-Star game. First time since 2008 that the Rays have three infielders that are all-stars. Brandon Lau, Jonathan Aranda, who homered last night, and a double as well, almost had 2 home runs. Boy, he's hitting the ball well. And now Caminero. How cool is that? And just, not to rub it in, but think about this. If Wander didn't wander off the reservation and was still playing in the major leagues and not the minor leagues, we'd have the entire infield at the All-Star game. Think about that for a second. Think about that. But anyway, we got Hassan Kim, who finally got back to playing. Looked good. That's good. So we get Brandon Lau back. Rays have lost, 8 of 11? 5 of those you can put on the bullpen. Yikes. But Caminero's going to the All-Star game. That's the good news.
Uh-oh.
Bad news is, guess who's in the home run derby?
Gentlemen, we got a big fucking problem.
Don't do it, Junior. Don't do it. It's a great way to F up a swing. Can the Rays, can we decline that?
I don't think Major League Baseball lets you do that, do they?
No. I think there's only 3 guys that had signed up. So they're like, oh, you want to go to the All-Star game? Good to go. You got to agree to. I guarantee you that's what it was.
Because nobody cares about the freaking home run derby or the All-Star game.
I love it. I love it.
So out.
So intern Danny looked up the numbers for Randy in 23. When he almost won it, right? Did he win it? Second place, yeah. But he put on a show. Rosarena put on a show. He had 16 home runs in the first half, 7 in the second half of the season. Hit 279 leading into the home run derby. Afterwards, 220. 59 RBIs to 25. But his strikeouts went down, 92 to 64. But here's the other thing.
Sounds like a fall off.
He did play in 20 less games than he did in the first half. Because the All-Star game isn't actually at the half. It's like 90 games. So he had a little bit, and I guess he missed some games in there as well. So little bit, not apples to apples, but you can see, and I remember, we all remember, it was a precipitous drop-off. And it was previously I said, how can it really mess you up? But it does.
And it does. History tells us it does. Yeah.
It's like that guy, like Taylor Walls hits a home run, and the next, 2-3, weeks, he's trying to lift everything and pop it out of the park instead of, staying down and driving the ball into the gaps singles. That's your game. Don't start trying to be Joe Hero. And even if you've played softball, I played many, many years of softball, and you hit a couple of home runs, like the next time you start dipping that shoulder just a little bit to get elevation. It's like in golf, when there's trees in front of you and a 9-iron is going to be fine. Like your 9-iron is going to get over it. What do? You try to lift it and you blade it right into the tree. Trust me, I know. So it just gets in. It's human freaking nature. And it's just, I don't like it. I do not like it. This kid's having an historic first half. The youngest since Roger Maris and Mickey Mantle to have 21 home runs at the break. Like just unreal numbers.
Would they ever do?
Yeah. Were they any good? I don't know. So
do any of your 3 interns, do any of them know who Mickey Mantle or Roger Maris are?
A lot of mumbling going on. There's a lot of mumbling going on.
God, JP.
I told them they can't get on the mic until we do podcast.
Well, they can nod their head.
Yeah, we'll put it. Yeah, or put them on the 3-shot. Well, I'll ask the question again. All right. Any of you guys ever heard of Roger Maris or Mickey Mantle? We got one Mickey Mantle, no Roger Maris. Go see. Oh my
God, the home run leader of all time, single season.
Yeah. Well. Oh, that's right. I don't count Barry Bonds either.
Should we count Sammy Sousser and Mark McGwire?
No. Nope.
Tell them they need to go watch 61. That great movie. That was a great flick.
Yeah. So yeah. All right. Let's get to the Isaac Howard thing before we run out of time. So Isaac Howard gets traded for Peanut O'Reilly. Peanut O'Reilly is 19 years old. Isaac Howard's 22. Peanut O'Reilly, by the way, I was looking at the hockeywriters.com, and they graded the trade. Edmonton gets an A, Lightning get an A.
Yeah.
But the difference is Isaac Howard's ready to go right now. And they even said he'll probably start in a top 6, middle 6 role and could work up to play alongside Connor McDavid and Leon Draisaitl.
It's a scary combination right there.
So, I mean, obviously he's going to have impact faster than Peanut O'Reilly. And if
a lot of that is age. A lot of that is
age. Absolutely. But if you're in the win now mode,
like Edmonton.
Yeah. Look, and they're, the things that that Isaac Howard did at draft, you know, the white suit. It's a lot of look at me stuff, the celebrations, all that stuff. But you cannot discount the big goals that this guy's scored in juniors, NCAA, Hobie Baker Award winner, got it, you know, in the Big Ten championship. The guy just scores big goals, and he's super creative, and he's really freaking good. He's exactly what the Lightning need right now, a young star like that. Exactly.
But the problem is he wasn't going to sign with the Lightning.
I know, and I'm not blaming the Lightning.
Right.
I'm not blaming, but, you know, things were going great, and then something soured. Yeah. And I wasn't in the room.
I don't know what that was.
He wanted to play. He wanted to move right into the NHL and move right into playing in the playoffs. And we had talked about that all season long. Like, okay, when he's done, can he come up? Matthew Nyes did it for Toronto. You know, there's a lot of kids that have come from college and jumped right in. College is playing at a different level now. You know, it's these kids can get paid now. So it's different. And NCAA hockey is really, really good. Is it better than junior hockey, OHL? The kids are older. They're more physically ready to play in the NHL than the juniors. Now, you could argue that the juniors, you know, OHL is more talented, but that's young talent that's not quite ready for the NHL yet, for the most part. So this is what hockey writers write. Say the Oilers are taking on a risk in Howard. Some fans question the choice to move O'Reilly, but they are bringing in a future stud in Howard. Hobie Baker Award winner, awarded to the NCAA's top player. He has the hype to jump to the NHL level. His offensive dominance is close to unmatched. It is his natural gift to be able to create offensive opportunities for himself and his teammates, and it's special to watch. Over the past 2 seasons, he scored 34 goals and added 54 assists for 88 points through 73 games with Michigan State University. He's drafted by the Lightning in the first round in 2022 at 31st overall, and seems likely to get his first taste of professional hockey this season. He likely starts his stint with the Oilers as a bottom six forward, but if he looks confident and skates well at the NHL level, there's no reason to think he couldn't get a look on the top line alongside Connor McDavid. Okay, Tampa Bay Lightning, they say A. Give them an A. Yes, this is an even trade for both teams. As a fan of the Oilers, it's exciting to see a player like Howard who can join the team and help them win both now and in the future come to the team as a promising prospect and see what he turns into. However, it's hard to argue that they came out on top in this trade. The Lightning were dealing with a prospect who didn't want to play for them. So to be able to get a prospect in return who was drafted in the first round as well ends up looking like a strong deal for both sides. O'Reilly, who was 19, was drafted in the first round of the 2024 NHL entry draft, 32nd overall, after a strong showing in the Ontario Hockey League with the London Knights, where he scored 20 goals and added 36 assists for 56 points through 68 games. So not, quite a point a game as Howard was over that. Last season, the Knights, he scored 28 and added 43 assists for 71 points through 62 games. So he improved on everything. And this, he's a solid two-way power forward who was likely to get a chance in the NHL at some point down the line, but he's still a few seasons away. His gritty style of play should earn him a real shot at the beginning as a mainstay in the NHL level down the line. But both O'Reilly and Howard are unproven. For the Oilers, they bring in a young player who can help them win now. For the Lightning, they move a player who didn't want to play for them in exchange for someone they can be patient with as they allow him to continue developing while they try to contend for a Stanley Cup. So that's how the hockey writers grades this trade.
And I think you can take into account the potential of each player. Obviously, you're going to do that. But the potential with Howard and the Lightning was zero because he was not going to sign. He was going to be a free agent next summer, unrestricted free agent. If he did not sign with the Lightning, they had to get something in exchange for him, so it wasn't a wasted draft pick. And I think they did. I think considering what's available out there, and I don't know what the offers were or who else they may have tried to make a trade with, but I don't think this is terrible. I think this is really good. You got a younger guy who's not going to contribute as soon as Howard, but O'Neill's going to be a really good player. I don't doubt that.
Yeah. To me, this is just a matter of timing.
Yeah.
And, I don't, where the Lightning are right now, if this kid Peanut was 22 and he was a power forward at 6'1", 205, 210, which is probably what he's going to play at later on, and he's ready to go right now while the Lightning are in their window, I'm like, I'm really good with this trade.
Yeah.
But that wasn't available, evidently. And given the timing right now, it's an A. But if I'm being honest, if I'm a Lightning fan, I would have liked to see him play in the playoffs. I would like, did we not have the cap room? Talk about that. Why didn't we? Fair question to ask. Is it something about Isaac Howard's cultural makeup, the showmanship, the me first type stuff? I don't want to play in the AHL. Is it that part where the Lightning said, and they know a hell of a lot more about that than we do, and they're not going to say anything public about it, certainly not until they traded him. Might see something leak out now that the trade's over. We might start hearing he wasn't a Lightning player. He wasn't part of our culture.
He is. I mean, with
and
that
attitude.
What? Yeah.
If that's the case, I'm fine with it. I'm fine with the fact they didn't bring him up. They know a hell of a lot more about it than I do. And I'm just from the outside looking in, that's what it looks like to me. I don't think the Lightning as an organization felt that he was a good fit. And they didn't want to mess up the dressing room that they had last year going into the playoffs with a really good freaking team. I mean, we could sit here now and go, oh, we lost the Panthers again. We should have done something to get it. I get it. But again, I don't know everything they know. They know how he related to his teammates in development camp. They know how he related to when they're talking to him about coming up. I wasn't in those negotiations. Julien Brisebois was. He knows all that stuff, and I don't know any of it. And if this is what it seems like to me, if this organization felt that he wasn't that guy, then I'm glad we didn't try to maneuver things and change things up for this one kid to come in here and do something. Now, he goes on and scores 50 goals in the season. I may have a different take. But if he turns out to be Jonathan Drouin, which it looks like he's more on that path, then I'm fine with it. And who knows what Peanut might be in the future. And maybe we move Peanut for a piece next year or this offseason that becomes something that we use earlier. I don't know. But I trust, again, I come back to this. I trust Julien Brisebois. He knows way more about it than I do. And the fact that they were able to get something of this measure and not just a second-round pick that we wouldn't see till freaking 2030, long after Kucherov and all these guys are gone. Who knows? This kid might come up in next year in camp and just, he may have a hell of a year at AHL and be ready to go next year. That's really doable. He's got a mature body. He's a really good 200-foot player. That plays all the time in hockey. And he's definitely got some offensive skill. So while I'm impatient like many of you, and I want something to be impacted right now. I need a guy right now that can play power forward for this team, get under the Panthers' skin, and go kick some ass. That's what I want. Isaac Howard wasn't going to be that guy, but he'll fill up the net. So, look, bottom line is, this is a really good hockey team. It's a really good hockey team, and we don't have a whole lot of prospects for the future. This just in. We traded most of them away. So we just got a really, really solid piece for a kid. It was kind of a diva. Let's just be honest. And he didn't fit the Lightning mold. I'm okay with that. This kid Peanut seems like he's a grinder. That fits the Lightning mold. Hard worker, not about me, more about team. Good. I'm okay with it. We did well. Now, Edmonton wins the cup next year, and that son of a bitch is skating around. Then we'll maybe we'll rethink this.
I don't know. Again, I don't think he was ever going to play for the Lightning, and that's all I think. You got the best thing you could in exchange for him, and again, he sounds like he wasn't the kind of guy that you wanted on your team anyway.
Right. So
let him be.
By the way, happy trails to Tyler Johnson, who retired after 13 years in the NHL, 2-time Stanley Cup champion with the Lightning. He put out a really, really cool Instagram post yesterday that kind of, if I could read that for you folks, I thought it was really well done. As he recounted a lot of his time at Tampa Bay. No, I don't have it. But you can look that up on his Instagram and class act. Guy was always available, do interviews, hell of a player, made the most of certainly of his size and ability and really fit in well with the Lightning and will always be part of Lightning lore. So happy trails to Tyler Johnson. I'm sure you probably might see him around Tampa Bay. These guys always like to come back and live here. So we hope he does. We actually we lived in the same apartment building for a time. Very nice young man. Very nice young man. What else did we not get to today? A couple things you wanted to bring up, Tim.
Well, yeah, we don't have time. You want to save Kirk Cousins for tomorrow? Because I feel like that could be a lengthy discussion.
Yes, absolutely.
We can throw Johnny's picks up on the screen if you want for the
good idea.
Scottish Open.
Yes, the Scottish Open.
If you want to,
if it's not Scott, it's crap.
It's crap.
It's crap. It's not a Scottish. It's crap.
This is one of the greatest sketches ever.
Was that Will Ferrell?
No, that was Mike Myers, right? Or no, it was
who was that?
Dana Carvey?
Now look it up, boys. Who did if it's not Scottish, it's crap. Look it up. SNL.
Mike Myers.
Anyway.
It was Mike Myers.
Mike Myers. Okay, yeah. Of course.
So Johnny's
Victor Hovland
this week,
27-1, the Innisbrook champion.
Yep.
The Scottish Open. Where are they playing this? Do we know the exact course? Gentlemen, look that up.
Scottish Open. I could have told you. I could have just told you if you didn't ask me. Because we just talked about it.
Why didn't you? We're going over the picks.
About it last night. I wasn't going to mention where it was.
God, there isn't a Scottish-Irish player on here, for God's sakes.
Good day, mate. Yes. Didn't he have McIntyre on there?
Oh, no.
Oh, no, that was on mine. Sorry. I have McIntyre on mine.
No.
The defending champ.
Where is it? The Renaissance Club. Oh, we played there. Yeah.
It is at the Renaissance. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I think, is that where I think that might have been where
North Berwick.
Renaissance. I think we played there. Yeah. That might have been where
par 70, 7,200 and 82 yards.
Hit my second shot on the par 5 ninth
North Berwick
off the window of the 19th hole, scattering the crowd inside. It made a really loud sound. I hooked the ball. I hooked the 3-wood. So like the 9th green and the 18th green were like parallel, or the holes are like parallel next to each other. And then on the left-hand side was this big, beautiful, glass window overlooking both greens, and then the bars in that side there. And I was aiming at the 18th green, and the 9th green was where I was playing. My caddy was on. I was sharing a caddy. I didn't know, and so I aimed at the wrong freaking pin, and I hooked it and smashed off the big window. Sounded like a freaking gun going off. So then I got to walk over underneath the restaurant and play over the 18th green to the 9th green, and I freaking hit like an 8-iron to about 6 feet and made the putt for birdie. So there you go. How about that? That is such a JP hole right there.
Remind me not to golf with you anytime soon.
That is such a JP hole.
At least in Scotland.
Yes, right. Absolutely.
Good enough.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, let's talk about Kirk Cousins and Joe Burrow tomorrow.
All right, we'll do that tomorrow. All right, did we miss something else? Todd Bowles' comment? I didn't see that.
Must be talking about on Werfs.
Yeah, did he make a comment? Whatever. All right, that'll do it for today. Thank you guys for jumping in. As always, great comments. Great job, interns. Fantastic job, as usual. Timmy, love you, brother. Good job. Thank you all for watching today. Please spread the word on the show. Like and subscribe on our YouTube channels. FanStream Sports Dallas, FanStream Sports Tampa Bay. Do that, please. Also, like and subscribe to our podcast on Apple and Spotify. You can do it all there as well. Have a great day, everybody. Brian Hodgson next Tuesday will be joining us in studio. USF head coach kicking ass on the recruiting trail, making waves. And we'll have some other announcements coming up on Coach Golish as well. Have a great day, everybody. Go Rays.